Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. Hi girls, thank you so much for always showing love and support to this YouTube channel and sending love my way by either hitting the like button or the subscribe button. I love you girls so much for always hitting the like button and subscribing to this YouTube channel. It is so much fun being here every night of my life creating videos for you on Descendants and Zombies. We'll get to that in a moment. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel, because I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. Up to over 2,770 subscribers. Unbelievable. You girls are incredibly supportive. You are so kind. Tonight I had the honor of attending the premiere of Freakier Friday. This was the first time I saw a Freaky Friday movie in over 25 years. The last time I saw Lindsay Lohan don the role of the lead actress in Freaky Friday would have been 2003. That was when I was watching it at my friend's house, Josh. I talk about him a lot. He's the guy that blows shit up on his science project YouTube channel. I have no idea where he is tonight, but I remember watching the original Freaky Friday in 2003 when I was in high school. I was only in grade 10, heading towards grade 11, and that was a long time ago. And I had so much fun at his house watching it, and I never ever thought 20 years later I'd have the honor of attending the premiere of Freaky Friday tonight. I loved it so much, and I loved how Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis continued to light up the screen with so much humor and so much comedy. Thank you girls so much, and thank you Lindsay for having been a part of my life for forever. I had nothing but good things to say about Lindsay 20 years ago, and I still do, despite all the controversy that surrounded her career and her life, from crashing her Mercedes to her benders Lindsay Lohan would end up on. I always found the good in every celebrity that I had to talk about on this channel, especially girls. Female actresses are beautiful to me. Renee Zellweger, I found nothing but good things to say about her portrayal of Snow White in the live-action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in March of this year. And I found nothing but good things to say about Lindsay Lohan for all of my life. And if you were to ask Lindsay, Lindsay would tell you she's got the biggest crush in the world on me for all the reviews that I've put together about Lindsay over the years, because I've had nothing but good things to say about her. I miss her dearly, and I just wanted to know that I still love her and I do care about her so much. Now, having said that, Descendants and Zombies, really proud of you girls for being so incredibly supportive of the Worlds Collide tour. You girls showed up and you glowed. You really glowed at the Worlds Collide tour. It was truly unbelievable how you really lit up the stage with all your kindness and your love that you were showing towards your favorite celebrities who were a part of this. I know a lot of people are Googling the cast, the Worlds Collide tour, and it is so much fun reading all your guys' opinions and your reactions to the concert. I've had so much fun covering this over the last 2 months. I know for certain that this is going to be a summer that I am never ever going to forget, and it's going to be a summer that's going to leave me even more excited about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland because of the plot. We've got Liamani Segura coming in, seeing her introduction into the franchise as Red's sister Pink. I love how the names of these characters are based off color schemes, how Red's character is based off the color red, how Pink's character is going to be based off the color pink, obviously, duh, a real duh moment. Of course, Chloe Charming is based off the color blue. I love the color schemes and how they really bring it to life, but I'm also really interested in seeing what kind of controversy will ascend from out of nowhere between Red and her sister Pink, and how she will be portrayed as one of the consequences of time travel. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And we have a whole lot of new characters coming into the franchise to really secure the future of it. We've got the Nephews of Smee coming in, characters from Encanto, Princess and the Frog, which were musicals I love dearly. The New Orleans musical being portrayed in Princess and the Frog. I remember watching it, I think, in 2011, because I remember all the dates that all these Disney movies premiered. I think I've seen every Disney movie there is to have seen over the course of the last 35 years. I've been here for about 4 decades, and I've had the honor of watching every Disney movie ever since I was a child. I can remember standing up in the back of the movie theater and watching the original animated Lion King on June 26th of 1994. That wasn't yesterday. I can remember seeing Enchanted in 2007 and buying the DVD, lining up when the DVD was put on the shelf. I can remember when The Nightmare Before Christmas VHS was put on the shelves at Toys R Us years ago in 1993, and I purchased one of the very first VHS copies of that. It was a black VHS cassette. I've been very fortunate in my career to be a part of every Disney movie in the world, and this generation of Disney fans are so lovable, so adorable, and I've fallen in love with each and every one of you. I think I've fallen in love with every person whoever said they were a fan of Descendants and Zombies, which is why it's such an honor for me, bestowed upon my heart, to be able to sit here and create these videos about Descendants and Zombies, which is quite lovely. It's an experience that's touched my heart and has impacted my heart for what feels like forever. There are currently wildfires in progress in the town that I live in. They haven't evacuated this part of the city where I live, but there are a total of 3 massive wildfires currently in progress, so I just want to let you guys know that everything is okay. I've seen a lot of photos of it being posted on Facebook, but just to give you an update, they have issued a mandatory evacuation order for part of the city, and these fires are pretty severe. They've been going on for the last couple of days, and that they haven't tampered or interfered with my transmission of this show, so I'm hoping that over the next couple of days everybody is safe and they've made it to a safe area where they've evacuated, but I'm hoping that I'm not going to have to evacuate. I promise you all that I would be here to create these shows for you, and I have been here to create these shows for you under the most severe of circumstances. Just a couple of nights ago, when I was shooting a zombies video, I was involved in the most severe thunderstorm in the history of this island, and I kid you not, there was stuff blowing up on the outside of my house. There were flashes of lightning every 5 seconds. You guys hear the cops going there now, and the fire trucks, and now we have severe wildfires spreading across this city. So, you know, this is why I say that this would be the perfect location for them to shoot Descendants. They chose British Columbia because the landscape over there, I will admit to you, for those of you who have had the honor of being in British Columbia, it is quite beautiful. I love the landscape of British Columbia, and it really fits the criteria of shooting a Descendants movie. But I think here, where there's so much action, would be the perfect place to shoot Descendants because of graveyards that are haunted, because of how ghost ships go missing all the time. People go missing in the forest without a trace. They say the fairies take them. We've seen sightings of mermaids, reported sightings of mermaids over the years, and I've heard so many stories of mermaids. I, for one, have never seen a mermaid, but I would love the opportunity too, because I can remember how I used to read books on the Little Mermaid for all of my life, ever since I was 7 years old, and I knew how to read the words off the page of a book. I was reading stories about mermaids. So I think this is a perfect location to shoot Descendants. So I just kind of want to put it out there that if the Descendants cast would land on the top of my roof on my helipad, which I installed a couple of weeks ago, a little over a month ago, if Ruby knows how to drive a helicopter, I would love to have them come live with me and shoot the Descendants franchise for Descendants 6. Because we will see Descendants 6. Don't ever believe that we won't see Descendants 6 or we won't get to that point. There is no release date for Descendants 6. It has not been confirmed. We haven't even seen the release of Descendants 5. That release date hasn't been confirmed. The release window is suggesting, though, summer 2026, which is a pretty accurate assumption that can be made because of how the Descendants movies are always released around the summertime. The furthest apart, the furthest gap for a Descendants movie was a period of 5 years from 2019 to 2024, and within the original trilogy, the first 2 movies were released in July of 2015, 2017, and in 2019 they pushed it ahead to August. So you had a 2-year release window for both, with the movies being separated from the second to the third from July to August, on August 2nd, 2019. So I would go for a release of summer 2026, either July or August. I'm thinking it's going to be August of 2026, and if that is the case, this time next year we'll be counting down the days and the hours to the premiere of Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here, because there is so much of a story left to be told, and there still is a chance that Ruby could be a part of a Descendants movie in the future. Just because she's not a part of Descendants 5 does not mean that she can't be a part of Descendants 6, either as Bridget or as a new character. But preferably, because of how kind Bridget was, I would love to see Bridget be a part of Descendants 6, because time travel probably will be required by the time we see Descendants 6 happen. I really don't feel as if time travel should have been taken out of Descendants 5 with how much of a significant impact and role it had on the original movie, which was supposed to have been called The Pocket Watch. And they actually told that in some of the Q&As for the Worlds Collide tour, which was kind of really cute and really sweet how they did that. I would love to see something more done with time travel in the Descendants franchise, because it really brought the Rise of Red franchise to life, and it really gave Bridget something really powerful to do, and it was one of Ruby Rose Turner's most powerful and iconic roles. I mean, who out there can think of a role that Ruby did apart from Bridget that was this iconic? I think one of the most iconic roles that Ruby could do, following in the footsteps of the success of the character Bridget and how much of a wave of momentum she is riding off now, would be the portrayal of Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled. Apparently, reported production of this has picked up again, but I would be front and center if I could see Ruby Rose Turner portray Rapunzel, because she's just beautiful. I don't know where people are getting away and getting off with how Sabrina Carpenter would make the perfect Rapunzel. You know, I've been a fan of Tangled for forever. I listen to the Tangled theme song, Wind in My Hair, every morning of my life. And I kid you not, it's always on my Disney playlist every morning. I have this habit of listening to Disney songs every morning in my life, and I've seen every Disney movie there is to have seen. And Tangled was one of my favorite movies from 2010, and it was one of the most highly successful to gross any value from 2010. I think it was reported over 350 million for a animated version of Tangled. So can you imagine how much they will take in for a live action adaptation of Tangled, and even more if Ruby Rose Turner was to don the role. I was fond of Sabrina Carpenter, but I think there are these stars from Disney who are definitely overrated or eventually become overrated. Like Demi Lovato, who I've been seeing a lot of photos and videos of over the past 24 hours to 48 hours of her performance with Joe Jonas performing classic camp rock songs for the first time in over 20 years. It's incredible seeing Joe Jonas and Demi Lovato share a stage in the shape that Demi Lovato is in, but I think that she's one of these celebrities from Disney who have come from Disney success that are very overrated. Taylor Swift is another one, and Sabrina Carpenter is somebody who people can't seem to get enough of, but I believe is very overrated. I love Sabrina Carpenter to death, but I really believe she's overrated because she's overshadowing the success of people like Kylie and people like Ruby, whose friendship I can't seem to get enough of. If Sabrina Carpenter can portray a live-action version of Rapunzel so effectively, then I'll go on record for saying that Ruby Rose Turner can do an even more fabulous job. And I'm really excited to see if Ruby will get the opportunity to do it, because she's put herself out there on social media in videos on TikTok saying she wants to play Rapunzel. So why not give her the opportunity? If I was the creator and director of Tangled or anything happening with Disney like Descendants or Zombies, Ruby would have that honor. I would take it away from Sabrina Carpenter because she's had more than enough opportunities. Opportunity has a consistent habit of knocking on Sabrina Carpenter's door. And I really don't want to see Sabrina Carpenter get any more opportunities when people like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner are being shut out and overshadowed and have to produce music independently. Because it is a constant struggle to have to produce music independently, and it costs so much. So if I get elected as President of the United States because of issues revolving around Kylie Cantrell's success, I will make sure there's a program put in place where the financing will become available for people like Meg Donnelly, Kylie Cantrell, and Ruby Rose Turner who have had to produce music independently, because I know how much of a constant struggle it is. Years ago, I produced albums for Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was a constant struggle. Her band, Course of Nature, which was her husband's band, were having a great deal of difficulty putting themselves out there for the way they wanted to, so they called me, and I helped them through my radio program. I did what I could. My resources were very minimal at the time because technology is not as far advanced as it is now when you can have a $400 camera to stream videos in 4K on YouTube. You know, 20 years ago, I didn't believe you could stream videos in 4K on YouTube. Perhaps you could, but not as high quality as you can. You know, the resolution is definitely far more out there than ever before. But I remember how so many independent artists would call me. I've interviewed thousands of independent artists, independent wrestlers, professional wrestlers from major wrestling organizations, and entertainers. But I remember the independent artists calling me and how much of a constant struggle it was to put all your money and all your effort behind an album or a single or an EP and really put it out there. So I just want to say that my heart really does go out to people like Ruby and Kylie and Meg who are doing this. Dying Art is available on Meg Donnelly's website, megdonnelly.com. More info on Kylie Cantrell's EP is available at kyliecantrell.com. And Ruby Rose, I don't even know if Ruby has a website. I think Ruby does most of her promotion through her social media accounts like Facebook and X. But she does have over 1 million followers, which is really cool. Kylie Cantrell is creeping up there with just under 460,000 followers, and Meg Donnelly has 1 million on social media platforms as well. I think that they deserve far more better promotion than what they're getting. Again, it's one of the constant struggles of really trying to put yourself out there independently, but I think they are doing a fabulous job with that, and I give them all the credit in the world because, you know, years ago, you never ever thought that people like Meg Donnelly, Kylie Cantrell, and Ruby Rose Turner would be in the positions they are right now. But I'm really excited for their futures, especially with the success off of Descendants, that we have tens of millions of fans who are incredibly supportive of this. And you guys are really supportive of this. And I think you're never given enough credit. Your hearts are really into Descendants and Zombies. You showed up at the Worlds Collide Tour. You were there to support your all-time favorite stars like Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner, Mila Baker. And it was just so phenomenal seeing you do it. And then to be subjected to so much criticism from the success of the Worlds Collide Tour off of that it really broke my heart because Kylie Control was crying more times than she was ever given credit for during her performances at the Worlds Collide Tour, and my heart really went out to her. And when people were criticizing her, I really wanted to kick their ass. But I knew I couldn't kick their ass. I just had to create great reviews about Descendants and Zombies, which you guys have helped me out with, because I could be just uploading Descendants and Zombies videos, getting no subscribers, no views, no subscribers, and that would really break my heart, because this was really a hit or miss for me with this YouTube channel. You guys gave me an incredible opportunity. You wanted me to create a Descendants and Zombies show, a podcast, and you got that. And it's been such a huge honor for me to be able to sit behind this podcast microphone to have reviewed Descendants and Zombies in a way that it's been meant to be reviewed for what feels like forever. I honestly don't know where I would be without your guys' help, and you guys always hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button for me, because this really is such a huge honor. I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. So I just want to say from my heart to yours, thank you so much for that, because I can only do so much, but what it comes down to is your choice to hit the subscribe button, your choice to hit the like button, and you've been doing it hundreds if not thousands of times. I never thought I'd see 5 subscribers on this YouTube channel, which I can remember a time where there were only 5 subscribers having been put up on this YouTube channel, but there are over 3,000 almost, rapidly approaching 3,000. That 3,000 subscriber milestone can't happen fast enough for me, but I'm okay with 2,770 subscribers, because I know there is some really kind girl out there that is going to hit my subscribe button, because she loves Descendants and Zombies, and when one loves Descendants and Zombies, she will sacrifice everything to watch her favorite stars talked about in a way that they've been meant to be talked about for what feels like forever. I love the bond between Kylie Contrell and Mila Baker, and I think I'm going to start supporting that more on this YouTube channel, because I know it's received its fair share of criticism with all the rumors of their apparent relationship and what have you, and I really think that we need to close the door and close the book on criticizing a friendship like Kylie Contrell and Mila Baker. They are incredibly supportive of each other. During their breakups, they were breaking up with guys at the same time years ago. This is a little story, a little secret that probably some of you already know about, but I know there are new Descendants fans just getting introduced to the franchise, so I'll tell you this little story, like I told you the story of how Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim lived together for a number of years when they were shooting zombies in the house. So I'll tell you that nobody knew about. So I'll tell you a story about Kylie Contrell and Mila Baker. I know that they were in relationships at the same time. They were going through really brutal breakups, and they were incredibly supportive of each other and embracing each other with hugs, calling each other all the time, texting each other. And it got me thinking about how all these brutal breakups that I went through ended so disastrously, and I had nobody to help me. I might have had one really good friend that I don't talk to anymore. I don't know where she is. But I was going through some really brutal breakups, and I had no support. I didn't know how I was going to get myself out of the situation. I felt like I had done everything wrong. I felt like it was my fault, and nobody wants to see themselves in that kind of position. It is very, very hard to go through a breakup with somebody that you love so much, and I saw that in Kylie's eyes in her past relationship from just last year. She was so incredibly supportive of this guy. She thought the world of him. She thought the sun shined out of his eyes, and there's nothing worse when you feel about a guy like that, and he breaks your heart from out of nowhere with no explanation being offered, because he feels that Kylie Contrell made all the mistakes. The way that I look at this is, simply put, a girl is really somebody who just wants to make everybody happy and be there for everybody when she senses that someone is being unkind to somebody, someone is feeling hurt, someone is going through pain. I recently experienced this with one of my really good friends who just wanted to take away all my pain, although she'll never know how much pain I'm actually going through. But a girl just wants to make everybody happy. But a girl receives her fair share of criticism because guys really just misjudge and misinterpret a situation. And I think that if guys had a greater appreciation for girls, I think that people like Kylie Contrell and Mila Baker wouldn't have a reason to cry. They would have a reason to be happy. And that's why I created this YouTube channel. I wanted to alleviate some of the pressure off of their shoulders, and with your guys' help, who are huge fans of Kylie Contrell and Mila Baker, showing up here all the time and really showing up. What I mean by showing up is how you showed up at the Worlds Collide Tour, dressed up in these beautiful dresses and these beautiful gowns, from the parking garages right on in through to the performances. You guys were incredible. You were in the crowds watching it, and you were shouting out, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is really happening." And I really did love those reactions, because I couldn't seem to get enough of it. Because it's one thing for somebody to sit here and talk about Descendants and Zombies in such a negative way and present a negative vibe and talk about it for what it's worth. But it's another experience for someone to come on here who really cherishes Descendants and Zombies and really appreciates it for what its value is. And its value is really worth more than I could ever imagine or put into words for each and every one of you, for how it's had a profound impact on all of our lives, and how it's touched our hearts in so many unbelievable ways that I can't even begin to put into words for you how appreciative I am for what it's done for all of us. Girls are stronger now. They are signing up for more sports teams. They are becoming more active. They are feeling more inspired. Some love to sing. Some love to paint. I love it so much how talents are being being promoted and how dreams are really possible. Let me say this, because I've always believed that dreams can come true and happen for somebody. It's just a matter of fact if you yourself believe in yourself enough to really push yourself beyond your physical limits, because I know there are limitations for everybody. Some people suffer with disabilities, some people are introverts. There are different situations that apply to different people, but it's all about how far you want to push yourself to achieve that dream. You set a goal in high school. They teach you how to set a goal and how to achieve it. Put a goal in place, put a dream in action, and achieve that dream, no matter how far you have to go and push yourself. So it's all about how far you want to push yourself and how much you believe in yourself and believe in that goal. And that's all I've ever wanted to instill in your minds, is that every dream is possible, because that's what Descendants has been promoting. That's what Kylie opened up the first 30 seconds of the Worlds Collide tour off the introduction to the cast, that we're going to be a part of the show, with how every dream can become a reality for somebody. And just as sure as that sun has officially set on all of our lives tonight, a dream can and will happen for you. It may not happen tonight, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen the next day, but it will happen eventually sometime between now and the end of your life, which is far from over. Like this story about Descendants and Zombies is really far from over, because believe you me, while other people are shutting the door and closing the book on Descendants and Zombies, I am one who refuses to do that, because I love these franchises so much. And I just want to do my best to do the honor for all of you of keeping these franchises alive for the better part of the next, I'd say, 20 years. Because I'd go for another 20 years of Descendants and people still singing Descendants songs, and Kylie's still singing her favorite Descendants songs when she's 40, which she actually teased in a recent podcast interview she did. She said she'd love to be a part of the Descendants franchise 20 years from now, still singing Descendants songs at 40. I love this so much, and I love being a part of it, because it's been an experience that I can tell you that I honestly will never ever forget. Because like I said, it's one thing for me to upload Descendants and Zombies videos, but it's always a constant struggle of wondering if you guys really do love these videos. And I like to believe that you do, because you show an incredible amount of love and outpouring of love and support, unlike any other show out there that talks about a specific niche. Over the years, I talked about a lot of stuff on the radio and on YouTube, because I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been on YouTube since Lindsay Lohan was a teenager. And that wasn't yesterday. That was over 25 years ago. I've been on YouTube since Lindsay Lohan was a teenager. Since Kylie Cantrell was probably about, 7 years old. And wanted to be a part of the Descendants franchise. Wanted to be a part of the High School Musical franchise. Watching at home. Memorizing the lyrics of her favorite songs. And all I've ever wanted to do, while she wanted to bring it to life for each and every one of you, is I wanted to say really good things about Descendants and Zombies. And I like to believe that I did that. One way or another, I like to believe that I did that. And I always go out of my way to make sure that there's even just one video uploaded on this YouTube channel. Because if you deserve a review, the least somebody can do is give you a great review about Descendants and Zombies, because you hear way too many negative reviews, and too much of a negative vibe exists in the Descendants and Zombies universe, because this is really what this is. It is a universe of endless possibilities. It's not a universe of possibilities that can never exist, like the possibility of sirens, the possibility of witches, the possibility of mermaids, the possibility of pirates seeing their introduction and having something to do with the Descendants franchise. I'm really excited to see where we go from here. I'm really excited for the next chapter of both franchises, because the torch was passed in Zombies 4, and I really do think it was done in a very fabulous way, a very emotional way. There was so much emotion packed behind it, and I'm really excited to see how the relationship between Mila Manheim's character, Victor, and Freya Sky's character, Nova, as difficult as that is to say for a radio show host and a YouTuber, where we go from here, and see how passionate they really are. I do agree with all of you. They are cute together. I think the future of the Zombies franchise has been secured, so why are we doubting it? Because people love to criticize stuff. People will criticize stuff ever before they'll give it praise. And I'm just here to say that I think we should be giving it more of a chance. We should be giving it more of an opportunity, because there still is a long way to go when you talk about Descendants and Zombies, and of course everything that we've already seen. Yes, it could be a point where we could close the book, but can we just leave hope out there a little while longer? Can I still be the voice of Descendants and Zombies for just a little while longer? Because this really has been an honor for me to be able to sit here behind this podcast microphone every single night of my life and to have talked about Descendants and Zombies for what feels like forever. I want to say thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies for what feels like an eternity. It has been a real honor for me, a true honor. If you would do me the honor of being the voice of Descendants and Zombies for just a little while longer, perhaps if you could do me the honor of being the voice of Descendants and Zombies for the rest of your lives, I would love you so much for it. Because there's no other place in the world I'd rather be tonight than being sitting behind this podcast microphone for however long it's been, a decade, a lifetime, talking about Descendants and Zombies. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel, because I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. So if you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, I think you're going to want to do this. We'll talk again tomorrow morning. But until then, I want you to keep kindness in your heart and know that you will, undoubtedly, find your light. I've always wanted to say that as part of the member of the cast of the Descendants franchise, as perhaps the Prince in Descendants or Kylie Control's love interest, which she doesn't get for a couple of more chapters of Descendants, apparently, if it's not going to happen by Descendants 5. But I've always wanted to be that guy to say, don't worry, Red, you'll find your light. Because you really will. Dreams can and will happen for you. You just have to hold on to that dream for just a little while longer and know that the same moon that is out in your sky tonight is in mine. No matter what we're going through, we are all in this together because we are everybody's best friend. And friends do exist in the most unbelievable ways, unimaginable circumstances. Just know that you'll make it out of whatever situation you're in. And I really do love each and every one of you so much. Keep your dreams in your heart and keep your friends close. And always show kindness to those and treat others the way that you want to be treated. I love you guys so much. Be kind to one another. With that having been said, bye YouTube. We will talk again tomorrow morning. Be kind to one another because kindness really does go a long way in this world.